this relationship that I'm having is not good for me. And I know what to do, but it hurts. This relationship can be a relationship with a person, but it can also be a relationship with money or health. And I'm going to share something with you in this video that is just coming out of me. It's not prepared. I had a session the other day with a person, and this person talked about, it was a reaction from one of my posts or video, and the person talked about being in a relationship with a person and a relationship that was not healthy. When I say not healthy here, the person was speaking about being in a relationship with a person that didn't speak very nicely, that sometimes might even be a little physically, and a lot of things that harmed the person that I spoke with. And maybe you know a situation like this. Have in mind it could also be money. So I asked the person, and the person said, well, this relationship had been going on for 10 years now. And I asked, the person shared, before that, the person was married 15 years. And it was the same kind of relationship. Now, in this 10-year relationship that the person was still in, where there was a lot of harm, psychological harm, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically. And the person was saying things like, well, you can't be on your own, you have to have me. And some days, very bad behavior, and then a couple of days with good behavior. And the person that I was speaking with said, well, those days where everything is good, I'm just like, it can't be good. It can't be good. So this is okay. I'm not going to stop this. And it could be the relationship with money or health also. So I'm going to share with you my own story around this, and I'm also going to share my insights around this from my own story and also from the people that I've helped with this. And I'm also going to share with you a community where you can cost nothing, where you can actually join us, and all of these things that I'm speaking about. It's all about manifestation, but it's also about becoming you, living a free life with abundance. And abundance can be money, but it can also be a healthy life. And more, the word freedom comes to me, to a life with freedom. So I had the conversation with this person, and in the conversation, the person became very sad, and tears were running, and sadness came up. And I asked, it was not a very, very long conversation, but I asked, do you know this feeling? And the person said, yes, I have. It's like a stone in my stomach. And I said, for how long? And the person said, for all of my life, as long as I remember. And maybe you know that feeling in your stomach, or maybe you know the feeling in your chest. Feeling of sadness, feeling of not being good enough, because that was the questions that this person asked self all the time. It's probably because I'm not good enough. And again, it can also be money, and it can also be health. I can relate to these things because I'm very open about this, also public, that I had two very long relationships that it looked a little bit like that. The first one was where I always had to be very, very careful of what I was saying and doing, because the woman was, physically too, but also psychologically giving me a lot of things that made me feel unsafe and made me feel like I was not good enough and made me feel like I could not say what I really wanted to say. And when I finally ended that relationship, very soon after, I met the woman of my dreams, and I was like, this is all, I could check all the boxes. Everything was perfect. There was just one thing. It was all a story. It was all fantasy. It was all manipulation and lies. And after 6 years, I found out that this woman, I wouldn't even say cheated on me. This woman had a man in her life for 20 years and 2 kids, and had not been honest about that situation to me, but still manipulated me with lies and things that made me feel like I was always doing things wrong, made me feel like I wasn't good enough. And I remember that pain in my stomach that just, it wasn't even a stone, it was more like a big needle that just every time. And I tried to escape that relationship, but something inside of me like was hooked, like when you catch a fish and it cannot get off. It was kind of like that. And I say again, it could also be money. Maybe you know a relationship like that. Maybe you know someone who is in a relationship like that. And I say this is about manifestation, but this is a deep level of manifestation. Let me just share the money part with you because, and I'll do this very quickly, but for years I had a relationship with money that made me feel kind of the same way. It was there and I lost it. And I was afraid of losing it all the time. And I felt that in my stomach, sometimes in my chest, like this pressure. That's not freedom. Even when I had the money, I had this feeling. And it held me down. That's not freedom, my friend. It's not freedom. Makes sense? You ever tried anything like this or know someone who knows things like this? So it's not good, but it's still manifestation. This is like, for me, it's like a spiritual manifestation. And what I mean by this is, the money part, for me, I had to shift my beliefs around money, and I had to take the actions that was aligned with that. And I went from $1.5 million debt that I created, and I went into financial freedom. But as I said, if you have money but don't feel free, then it's not financial freedom, isn't it? So for me, after solving the debt, I met this woman I thought it was my dream woman, right? And that pain, but even worse, came up again. So why am I saying manifesting and spiritual? And because today I believe that pain inside of me, inside of the person that I spoke with, inside of the clients that I worked with these things, that pain is unsolved trauma. It's unsolved energies, trapped emotions or energies. It's in there. And if that person, you or someone you know, is full of these energies, and I do believe today many of us has a lot of these energies inside of us. We can think with less than 5% of our whole being trying to get into wealth and abundance and all of that. But if we got all of these energies, that trapped emotion, dense energy inside of us, guess what we will create all the time? Keep creating. So the solution to this, from my own story, from what I went through, and from the people that I've helped with this, also the person that I spoke with, because I resonated with the message, I resonated with the energy, I understood it. The key to this, to begin manifesting better things in our life, it's not haunting the better things, it's actually transforming those energies into lighter energies, into more loving energies, letting go of the fear. It's pretty simple, but it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. So I wanted to share this quick message with you. It's very powerful, it's very deep, but I wanted to make it very quick. And I also promised you the community. Got a community, it's called Manifestation Masterclass. It's a free community. And I am doing something special in there. There's a lot of trainings in there, but I'm creating like a mini course. It's going to be probably the most powerful course I ever did. But what I wanted to do is to really make it very impactful, but also very quick and easy to go through, to help as many people as possible with this. So I'm creating this now. And if you want to check this out, if you want to check the community out and you can join us, there's a link below this video. And I just want to say that you are good enough. You're good enough. And if you're listening to what I'm saying right now, there's a reason for that. I do believe that something inside of you are ready to be released, to let go. And as you let go of these energies, pains, emotions, there will be more freedom inside of you, and also you will manifest more freedom, better things in your life. Lots of love.